versus Infamous. Game 2.
Infamous have shocked the world with some of their results here at TI already, and they're looking to continue the surprises here, up 1-0 against Newbee.
Whew. I'm not even surprised anymore, to be honest, because they are playing so well. They might end up actually going to top 3 if they continue playing like this for sure. They need to address this problem called Hector Raid King. They need to ban it. I think they need to ban it out straight in the first phase.
They didn't.
I think
it's not happening.
You keep letting it through. Newbee should find out what every other team have found out so far. Keen learned it the hard way. EG learned it the hard way. And now it's Newbee's turn.
What did those teams learn? That you ban it, or?
Oh, no, you just keep letting it through and find out what Hector can do with it.
So you're learning through losing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Brian always says. Right? Like, I'm either winning or I'm learning.
I'm not sure if Newbee is saving strats for TI10. If they are, you know, they might need a new coach.
I mean, it's time to get your best strat right now. Like, this is the time.
Yeah, I mean, this is elimination for Newbee. They drop down from the winner bracket and find themselves on the brink here, but it's not a first 2 Wraith King. I think that's something Infamous have at least been somewhat consistent about. They like to prioritize getting some of their 3-4 positions in the first picking stage, or at least picking up one of those flexible heroes like Kunkka that can play both mid as well as off lane.
Yeah, I really like the way that Infamous drafts because I feel like they're making it easy for their team to play around. They work around the core concept, they all play the same 3 or 4 heroes. They actually remind me of like OG of last year, where they simplify Dota for themselves. And that's such a scary thing when you have a lot of other teams that overthink, that try to purely outdraft, try to counterpick. You have this Infamous squad that's like, no, we're good. We're going to play what we want to play.
I love their confidence, the way they're walking on the stage. It feels like they don't care what happens. They don't care what you're going to pick. We're going to play our own game and we're going to win.
Yeah, they have cat ears on. Can we talk about that for a second? How do you guys feel if you walked on stage and your opposing teams come up with cat ears? Is that not intimidating?
It's like the reverse, you know, when Secret came in with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
TI5, it's like that.
But it's actual confidence. Sunglasses, like, oh, you know, they're making up for something. But
at the same time, I don't think Newbee is out of it quite yet. I feel like this is still a very gifted squad. During the group stage, they were so good. They had the misfortune of running into that OG squad, where, you know, OG flipped a coin. And unfortunately, it landed in a rough position for them. But this is still a talented squad. This is where you need to dig deep. Try to ignore the other games where you've been blown out.
Yep. All right, so with this Nyx Assassin pick, they were trying to bait the Newbee into picking Lesh once again. A lot of uncontrollable damage. Nyx Assassin good for setting things up, especially with the X mark, even though Schofield played extremely well in game number 1, moving around the map. You don't expect Nyx Assassin to set up so many early kills because it's hard. You're basically one stun. That's all you are.
Yeah, I am so surprised at how well their laning phase went. I looked at the heroes. I thought it would go okay, but the fact that they started like 4-0 to begin the game, that was kind of crazy for me.
What's the idea behind the Omni Knight pick? What do you guys feel? Is this just Newbee switching things up a bit?
I think it's really nice actually against like both the heroes that are picked up. When I have seen Omni in this tournament, he looks really strong. It's just hard to kill. He allows you to just like continue to run in. It's a sustain hero against a hero like Kunkka, where I feel like the Coco's Rum is so hard to deal with. But if you have a hero like Omni Knight, being able to GA reset a fight is so important.
One of the few classic offlane heroes who has GPM talent built in, so he's always going to get his items and he can reset the fight so easily. Every time I've seen Omni Knight, he looked extremely good and pretty hard to take down in a team fight.
Yeah. And I mean, in that scenario, if you're dragging out a fight against Kunkka, the run wears off, suddenly everyone's taking that extra damage and the fight looks all a lot easier. We'll see what Infamous get now going to the next stage in response to Omni Knight. When we talk about Newbee, you know, stepping up in game 2, going for, you know, their best strats, their comfort picks. Is there any individual player you feel like needs to, you know, put this team on their back or whatever, or at least, you know, really play better to stand out as far as Newbee concerned?
Pilot I had 0-5-0 at one point. Usually he's the one who dies the most. Even though he is position 5, I think he needs to lower the deaths, especially early on, because he does not have boots early on, especially on the hero like an Elder Titan, which is crucial, so you want to set things up with the Spirit.
For me, it's King. You know, that's what all the North American Dota players call him. Not even the king, just, you know, king. He needs to step up because when they have been successful, it's been on his shoulders. If you recall during the NA quals, when he got that crucial solo kill that just sort of broke the spirits of VGJ Storm when he catches Mu off one-on-one, like this guy throughout the year I feel like has really elevated his performances. And remember how bad this squad looked before he rejoined? I feel like he is sort of the linchpin for their team. He might not be their best player, but I feel like he's their most important player.
Okay. Well, here's a look at some of those heroes he's played. Beastmaster and Axe. He's going to be on the Omni Knight this game. Not something he's played a whole lot of, but the 2 wins there, at least under Newbee's belt. And Infamous, again, going to go with the Oracle, that 5 position, giving them that save, giving them also a Dispel against Omni Knight, something you kind of have to be looking at whenever you're playing against Omni because of how powerful Guardian Angel is in team fights.
And Infamous is looking for these prolonged team fights with the boat, with the Oracle ulti. They can sustain so much, go back into a fight even after 25, 30 seconds.
Where did this hero come from? Wind Ranger, that was like a moment of silence where... Are we seeing CCNC play this? Is there a chance of a support Wind Ranger?
Position for Wind Ranger is really viable because she scales with the items. The only thing you need to buy early on is kind of Javelin if you're having a good laning exchange. It's the same principle as when you're playing Pango position 4. Once you get to that, you can easily transition into being the 4th core of a team.
Yeah. I like it as a 4th position. You've got Omni as an offlane. He doesn't bring some of the conventional things out of the offlane. Normally, you're looking at stuns, initiation, team fight. Omni has the team fight aspect of the the heals and the GA, but Wind Ranger brings something the Omni doesn't, which is that initiation, that lockdown of Shackle Shot to the table.
Right now, Newbee's lineup's really vulnerable to any elusive heroes because they don't have a guaranteed stun. Shackle Shot and Elder Titan Stomp is really hard to get off in a team fight. And the Brewmaster pickup, this is what I like, even though we've seen only a couple of Brew picks, it also brings a lot of team fight, and you have a hero who can control this Omni Knight, and he is gonna bring Newbee's lineup together. Like, you want to have that Guardian Angel off in a fight, multiple heals and the second abilities, but with the Brewmaster, he's gonna be the one controlling that Omni.
Yeah, plus I think right now he can't really get bursted by any of these heroes.
Yeah, like that as well.
1+1 right now on any of Newbee's heroes. I don't think they can go 2-man gank this Brew. I could very easily see him have a really nice laning phase. For Newbee, I'd like to see like another form of catch, whether it's kind of hard because I think with the Kunkka pick, what that was really trying to dissuade was actually the Ember Spirit. That was TNC's counter 2 to the Ember. I think the idea is they don't want CCNC to play a hero like that, where it's just difficult to catch out and it extends the game. So you first 2 this Kunkka, and you have this Nyx in your back pocket too, that just gets rid of like a large amount of CCNC heroes. Because when I think of CCNC heroes, I think of like these in-damage dealing cores. So they do take the OD. You are picking it into the Nyx, which I think is a little bit annoying. It's very easy to set up stuns. So whenever he casts the Astral, you can wait around the area. You can always counter that. But it is a really nice lane matchup against the Kunkka, and it's a save against the X combo.
Yeah, often the case playing against Nyx is you rule out all of these int mids that you just don't want to be picking, or even some heroes like the Ember Spirit you mentioned, but those are the heroes that suit CCNC best. And I think you'd be saying, well, we're playing against Nyx, but we still just got to pick these heroes because that's what suits our style.
Yeah, it's actually really nice against all of Infamous's heroes. If you look at it, it's just kind of annoying to play against the Nyx. But everybody else, I think 3 out of 4 is good enough to pick up that hero.
It is extremely good against Oracle. If he pops the ulti on someone, you're going to be just free intelligence for OD. And they have multiple layers of save right now in Newbee. You have this Omni Knight, you have Astral to rely on. So we're going to see a lot of these prolonged team fights for sure.
Once again, Newbee will be saving their last pick for Yawar's hero, as we saw last game, but it's going to be Infamous with the final pick of the draft this time around. Infamous looking for that Hector hero. Wraith King not panned out, guys. Is it a Wraith King game? Is every game a Wraith King game when it comes to Infamous?
I sort of feel like it's a rough Wraith King game, but then you know, whatever, just like pick it up.
Yeah. OD has been one of the traditional hard counters to
I mean, they banned out
AM.
anti-mage, so it could imply that they're going to go for Wraith King once again, even though it might be a bit harder in this game because of OD's mana steal.
And you're against OD, Omni, plus Wind Ranger, like 3 heroes that he doesn't easily burst down. But, you know, Hector's just going to do Hector.
Well, we'll find out that last ban and pick here from Newbee soon. Is there either team that you feel is drafting themselves in a more stable position that you feel more confident about so far?
I'd say Newbee's lineup is a bit harder to pull off because you need to land the Shackle Shot, you need to land this Elder Titan stun, and they go for Lifestealer. Right now, they don't have any abilities that go through Rage TP out or just Rage in general.
I mean, this has just been a classic carry, one of the most played of this tournament as far as the carry role goes. Nothing totally new coming to the table with the Lifestealer, but it still feels like a very stable pick, and that seems to be, at least for the most part, what Newbee are doing in this series. They picked the Sven in game 1, now they're going for the Lifestealer.
I think that Newbee sort of lacks catch. I think that's part of the big problem with their lineup right now is the best thing that their team does is they just 5-man and run at you.
It could also be a good game for Phantom Lancer, but they go with Jug.
Jug traditionally played a lot against the Lifestealer, having that Omni/physical damage, not something Lifestealer easily deals with some of the time. And Infamous, you liking their last pick, Will?
Yeah, I mean, they have no catch for it. Like, whenever he spins TP, what can you do about it?
I mean, same goes for Lifestealer, right?
Yes.
So both of these teams have a built-in free BKB on their carries, but I feel like Jug is going to bring more to the table, comes online a bit faster, can fight with the team. Also, you have even more sustain with the healing ward.
Yeah. I mean, with Infamous doing so well, the South American team, there's a bit of a catchphrase that you've seen called around this team, Will. Would you like to give
all
it
together?
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go!
That is the Infamous war chant, and Infamous are going to be looking to take a 2-0 here. Newbee, you know, they're down 1 game. We're going to see if they can bounce back. Newbee, they have it in them. We saw it in the group stage. They were the one in the upper bracket here. Do you think these are the picks that are going to work from the cost?
Newbee tends to go for their 10th pick, a comfort pick. Usually it's for the Yavar, of course, or CCNC on the mid lane. And I think the both drafts are kind of even.
Okay, well, you kind of agree. It's going to come down to the play, the execution, more so than either team having a draft edge?
Oh, for sure. That's what it always comes down to. Like, you can always talk about things like outdrafts, but something I really liked what PPD said once on a panel was, it doesn't necessarily matter if you have the better draft. The better draft doesn't always win.
All right, well, we've got Casey on the stage with Newbee's coach. Let's hear from them.
All right, Aoi, I wanted to ask you about Wraith King. It was such a big choice for Infamous in the last game, but I noticed you didn't bother banning him. Do you think that the reason you lost had nothing to do with the draft first game? Is that why?
I mean, I don't think our draft was particularly, good. It was fine, it was playable. We could have done better in draft, but I don't think draft is why we lost the game. After the game, we sort of just said, we had a little bit of first game of the day jitters, and we just need to focus up and play our game, and we're going to be fine.
How do you feel about the way you drafted for this second game?
I think it felt good because we were pretty confident in some heroes. They picked the Nyx Assassin to try to block this OD, but we're confident, we can play it anyways, And whenever your players are feeling really confident with the heroes and matchups like that, I think you feel pretty good.
All right, thank you. We will see. Best of luck to you, Aoi. Thank you. Back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome again, and thank you, Casey, for that interview with Aoi. A lot of information gleaned from that one, but the other thing we gotta keep in mind is the crowd. There's a guy right over my shoulder there just screaming Hector over and over again. They're starting to feel it.
Yeah, he's screaming like Achilles, just over and over, calling him out there. He wants to see him perform. The game's already started, so get on in there, and nothing to worry, you didn't miss anything here. The draft, the second game, I'm looking towards MSS, I think, for this one. He's got to give us one of those crit-like performances that helped carry EG from the Wind Ranger. And, you are...
Oh.
Got 3 heroes on him here.
And does have a setup here if they want to use the Impale from Schofield. Thinking about it, chasing it out, tempting fate, goes for the spin. You need to rage at some point, or you're just going to give up your life. First blood, carry on carry, and Hector takes it.
Yeah, had the Feast already skilled up there, so the tips come through, didn't have a play, and tried his little dance, but to no avail. Schofield not even wasting the mana on the guy, just his tip.
Well, that's certainly a way to start this one out for Infamous, and they also able to trade off bounty runes 2 apiece. We will have a short pause here, so we get ready to get back in. And
key oof. Big oof, says Highlight Die. A couple of big oofs for them so far on the main stage. Looking to turn that one around here. Already ready to go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I think that this is a team that's not going to be too hard hit by an early death there from UR. The only thing you need to be really worried about is if it happens again. And with a tri-lane on tri-lane, there's certainly that capability with UR still just level 1. We'll see if it ends up working out. But this also sets us up for an Omni Knight versus Brewmaster in the bottom lane.
A bit of a snooze fest. I don't know how much we're going to be down here.
That's true.
You know, enjoy the view while it lasts, because likely just going to be quite a bit of farming. And Whisper, you know, looking to be rotating around relatively early this game.
We'll see what ends up happening with that one. But yeah, the ET always a force to be reckoned with in these tri-lane situations. Get a ton of damage, nice little chunk of armor, but does need to be careful. Now with Hector moving in, they have the spin available, but good shackle shot, gonna keep him alive for the moment. But TI9 sticks around, ends up going down. They trade their life for the kill onto Hector.
Yeah, that's not first blood or anything either, so not gonna be worth it there for Infamous. And MSS, and you are basically just full mana and health right now after that.
Yeah, and they're actually going to switch things up now. So sending Hector down towards the bottom lane, since you are TP'd up top to get back to lane more quickly.
He still got it back by now, though. Like,
oh yeah,
life is good. The only person that won't be able to go will be TI9. But Snaking, yeah, he's in a bit of a pickle just because the lane's going to be pushing far away from him here by the looks of it.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that kind of works. If you can't bring the ET into the lane, maybe that was the idea all along. As Schofield going to take some damage, a 2-person impale, but I do believe this is still going to be the next assassin falling.
Yeah, TI9 with all that damage, looking to put some on a Whisper there too. Already has the aura, ultimate punches, and now we're going to get a rotation here. Obviously no way for him to cancel that TP, so MSS and Schofield going to mirror each other down to that bottom lane. As Hector is pretty low here, has 2 points, or rather has the point in the spin at level 2, as well as the crit, so no real concerns here. South does get canceled. Okay, MSS going to trade 90 mana for some regen there onto Hector.
And now, maybe going to trade his life away as Hector eats his way through the trees. Schofield there with the stun afterwards. Actually manages to hit onto both.
Yeah, he tried. He tried to get the tomato clap there for the kill.
Not quite in time, and Whisper in the meantime up top gets pummeled, but there is going to be a salve. He'll back up. The lane we haven't talked about all that much. CCNC kind of giving the business to Chris Luck here.
You gotta like the tips from Whisper. I mean, he took them all the way to the end there, right? For that drunken brawler in the south.
Yeah. Unsurvivable.
Yeah, that mid lane is OD, right? He's in the mid lane. Life's good. Kunkka no longer having the annoying denies of the Tidebringer, so it's mostly just a harassing tactic, and OD always gonna have a good time in these melee matchups.
We'll see still if Chris Luck can get something out of it as UR continues to farm. Facing off against Whisper. A lot of damage out, but the drunken brawler hit. Oh,
yeah. All right. He played the numbers on that one.
I mean, that's a 50% dodge chance, so you take your bets.
Yeah, flip the coin. Yeah, the last 50% for Newbee didn't go so well with the OG coin flip. That means the next one, the Gambler's Fallacy, clearly it's going to be fun. So he gets himself the kill there.
This guy understands that.
Yeah, I think so. I go to casino all the time.
How do you do that? No, we'll just leave it at that. CCNC trade hits here. Chris Luck going to throw out the Torrent afterwards if he wants to. Schofield moving into position and actually going to make this rotation work out. The Impale comes through, and this is a huge kill if they can find it. CCNC in trouble, and Schofield takes him down.
Yep, couldn't find anything with the salve there, so great rotation. You know, usually it's the OD that puts the fear in the enemy mid laner in terms of an easy rotation setup with the Astral, but Kunkka, of course, can do just that with the help of the X and the Torrent.
Particularly when the Astral's down. No way to try and outplay the Kunkka on the Torrent pullback. Hector going to get shackled, but not really any follow-up here in any fashion. Just trying to secure the bounty runes, where it looks like Infamous are going to be pressured back away from theirs. Unless Schofield can make some type of play. We'll have to watch and wait. And still up top, you are getting the better end of the deal as Whisper's going to be forced back and actually gets the open wounds now.
I mean, clearly Whisper's having fun. I don't know about anyone else.
Now you get the bounty
This guy's tipping, getting bounties.
Oh, the chase down for the kill onto Schofield. Hector needing to back out here. And it will be a trade-off of 2 bounty runes apiece as Whisper was capable of picking up both.
I know China calls Lifestealer the dog, and Whisper, he's taking him for the walk. Just from one bounty to the next, he gets both. And you are now back to his tower, finally getting some last hits.
Schofield not able to connect quite there in time on the Impale for Snaking. But Yeah, very active early game. So far, 8 kills in just 5.5 minutes. As these tri-lanes often end up this way. And the movement was going over towards mid by the Wind Ranger, but not a great chance for a kill onto Chris Luck, who does have level 6 now.
Yeah, a little bit frightening there, but same thing from CCNC. He's taking that Sanity's nice and early, and we got the power shot. Oh, he's got Shackle off the catapult too. Too early.
Yes, misses the chance, misses the power shot, misses everything, and now the torrent, but they get the kill. The boat's coming afterwards. CCNC not going to get hit by it.
They tried to go for it without it, right? Because ideally you'd like to save it for when he respawns, maybe get a secondary attempt with the Sanities, but was forced to use it there. Non-ability we get to see too much in the early game, but it already does like 230 damage right there to the Kunkka, so it's a good reason to get it in a game like this.
So 1,000 leads so far for Newbee, looking pretty solid in these opening minutes of this game number 2. Again, elimination match for them. Infamous looking to try and clear their way and continue on in this lower bracket.
Yeah, that 1K lead largely made up between the 1s and the 2s here. You got a 400 gap with the Lifestealer and the Jug, and then additionally about 600 or so between the OD and the Kunkka.
And as far as sort of team fight potential as the game goes later, oh, does he get it? All right, that guy plays Kunkka.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's got the gold, you know.
As far as teamfight potential going into the mid game, like, are we going to see Infamous try and get very active with the Bruce split and the Kunkka boat, or was it kind of just look like a farm fest again like last game?
I almost feel like it's like a counter-initiation style where there's going to be this group up from Newbee pushing in, and they're going to be looking to respond to that. Like maybe like baiting into fights and then trying to turn it with the X, trying to turn it with a False Promise, turn it with the Brewmaster. It's hard to play aggressive with these heroes unless it's like perfectly set up from the Nyx Assassin.
Okay.
So a lot of it likely to come down towards vision that Paladin will be providing for his team, and he is on one of these non-GPM heroes, so the sentry count might be a little lower.
And trying to get a ward placed down, but Stinger already there up front and center, and now Chris Luck able to make the rotation over. They'll find the follow-up kill onto Pylai Die before he gets those wards down.
And top rune Arcane for Chris Luck, so those rotations possible for him if he'd like. And the Courier is also bringing through his parts of the phase, not quite complete. Actually, that's not even his. It's gone all the way up to Whisper, who is also near to completing his phase boots here. Stinger's wrapping around behind Uwire, but no real offensive potential onto this Lifestealer. And Uwire is sitting very comfortably at the top of the net worth this time in the early game, not so much like last time.
He's just kind of been beaten away at this Brewmaster over and over again, and in the meantime, Whisper needing to head on back a couple of times.
Here comes that Arcane Rune bottom.
Looking for it. Boat, it's going to connect. Nice combination out onto Snake King. Can they bring him down in time, though? Looking like the answer is yes. As they get one more punch from Chris Luck. And now looking for MSS, but not going to find it. Still, that rotation, so key.
He did get Omni under the tower.
Oh.
Yeah, so Hector really went for it there, but MSS shrugging it off easily.
Now Whisper getting chased down a little bit with CCNC nearby. They do have the Primal Split if they need to use it, but it doesn't look like they want to commit for that. Instead, just going to TP away with the Brewmaster as Newbee pick up the kill onto that Oracle. Oh, Hector, kind of in no man's land. Shackle not going to connect, and no level 6 yet for MSS. The power shot will be dodged away.
Yeah, he likes living on the edge there. That thing moves pretty fast. To go for the spin that late was quite scary. I'm pretty sure he was low enough to die.
This guy's crazy.
No concern. It's like, whatever. Have to go all the way home for the regen, though. So some space to Schofield, who, of course, has just been playing masterfully on the Nyx Assassins so far in this tournament. 1, 2, and 4 to start things off. 5 of the 6 kills. And get some easy XP heading in towards that 10-minute mark with the bounties, the tomes. Everything gets like leveled up a little bit across the map, right? Oh, well, also some more gold for UR with that Midas thing.
Well, they do entirely abandon, it looks like, the other side of the lane as the Kunkka made the rotation top, scouted out by the ward that was just dewarded now by Stinger, have an inkling that that's where they were at. And that does mean that Infamous likely looking to try and do the tower trade-off that we've seen so many times. Snake King just gonna run down the Schofield Nyx Assassin, and should be a kill yet again. Snaking able to pick it up with the Purification.
Yeah, no real chance there unless he managed to get himself level 6, but not enough XP in the lane, so. Goes down, he's gonna get that trade. And I don't know if they might have thought he TP'd to the bottom lane too, right? Because of how short it was to go into his own jungle, so they might have been more feared of that rotation in the bottom lane anyway, but it'll just end up being MSS, and yeah, they say, yeah, I think we can respond here, guys.
Pi gets hit there by the Tidebringer, but it doesn't look like they want to try and go for the kill. I mean, there still is this Nexus Cassin skulking around, as well as the Brew who's holding onto the tower, and Snaking moving in. They're going to try and maybe go for the deny. Snaking in some trouble. Impale could come out in a second here as they pop the Primal Split and now going to find the finish onto the Omni Knight.
Nope. Not in time there. Gets stunned, but fine first split if you can catch him out. He can't get a toss onto CC&C. But how close is Chris like? Oh, he's just far away. Maybe with the setup.
Moving in, MSS wanting to interrupt the Tidebringer. Can come out in a second with the Torrent already down. This OD in a lot of trouble, but a nice Shackle not looking like it's quite going to be enough. The Ghost Ship is going to land, almost find a kill, and Whisper comes in for the finish.
Just inside the sleep. He's awake. He got up early. Gonna get in there for the clap. Fantastic game so far. Fantastic day so far for Whisper, really. I think truly standing out. I know how much we go on and on about Hector because he gets to be the star with a big net worth, but I mean, you can't ask for anything more out of Whisper. Game 1 and Game 2, I don't think. Playing a hero that we, again, don't see all too much, and he's gonna have a big role in this game when it comes to those dispels. You know, we're discussing during the draft, things like that Wind Run, you can get rid of using the Storm Panda, as well as the Guardian Angel, trying to provide an opportunity for Hector to get that damage out onto the enemy team.
Going to be so key, definitely. And already they're off to a really good start for it. Newbee still slight lead right now in terms of the net worth, but it does feel in these little engagements, Infamous kind of outplaying them a little bit, particularly taking that last fight.
You are going to be a little concerned about this OD though, right? I mean, if you look at Jug, this guy's got 24 int right now at level 8. He got 26 int on the Brewmaster, so that ultimate is pretty scary stuff.
It was crazy though. Like you see right there, even Schofield just running up to CC&C, popping the Spike Carapace, making him think that he was going to try and initiate on him. Just doing whatever they can to try and get into the head of these players.
And he just has Brown Boots 4-step on the Nyx to try and stop these combos from happening.
Well, up in the top lane, it looks like there was a spin away. Need to be a little bit wary about CC&C moving over, but will not go in for the full jump. Stinger placing down a ward. And again, we're kind of back to even again as we wait for the next Brew split to be back up.
We got some fighting builds coming out though. No Radiances in this game. We got a couple of these Radiance heroes, right? We got the Lifestealer, we got the Kunkka who builds it every once in a while. Sometimes even the Brewmaster, depending on how his game is going, but no. We are battling. We're going to have the Armlet Midas done here for UR momentarily. You've got a Manta in the eyes of Hector here too. So both these teams prepped to clash around that 15-minute bounty run time. Are we dropping the hammer, CC&C? Oh. No, good save there. Knew the Oracle was nearby with the Fate's Edict, so does not want to waste it.
Yeah, one of the cooler answers for the OD, obviously Sanity's Eclipse does give that big AoE ability, but if it's just dropped onto 1, you've got a nice save there with that Edict. Not to mention, of course, all the other save that Oracle brings to the table. And you look at the side of Newbee, and it's kind of different versions of save, really. Save coming from the offlaner and the Omni Knight with the Heavenly Grace. Not quite the same level.
Same thing with the Stomp from Pi too, right? Like, I feel like the team who initiates is almost at the disadvantage in this game.
Schofield going to be under vision here as he does scout out the Ancient stacks. The pings come, Snaking realizes that he's in the area. They know exactly where he's at as they drop down the Sentry Ward. Going to get the Astral. Should be able to get the Spike Carapace out of this one as they get the walk away, still living through it. Stomp's going to connect there onto 1. 4-step though, keeping the Oracle alive. And now the chase forward does not lend itself to any more kills. So Infamous again able to get out that many casualties. I
like how CC&C astrals him and just runs, right? He's like, I know what's coming after this. I'm going to get Carapace. I am going to be very far away from this situation.
It does mean that they don't manage to find another kill afterwards.
And that's going to be both bottom bounties for Newbee and CC&C TP top. So he's going to beat Hector there too. So they'll get themselves 3 easy bounty runes.
Well played, well played. Now 3,000 gold lead after the fact.
And look at that totals there. 2850 on the bounties from Newbee and only 1,200 from Infamous. So creating quite a bit of that gap that you see in the net worth.
8 to 8, but it does feel like that doesn't necessarily resemble the score of where this game sits. Are you feeling like there's one team that's kind of more comfortable with the state of the game at this point? Well, that's what that thinks.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I don't think I'd lean that hard.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that Solar Crest on Snake King first. Then I'm all in.
I mean, it feels really good that he can just walk in and do this and not be that worried. And all the Spike Carapace out, but they have the X already used.
He's pumping. He's thinking about the hammer.
Himself, but waited for that Astral to wear off, and then they're going to have the boat land down on top of the CCNC afterwards. Whisper still trying to control several. A really good stomp, though, there onto a couple of it. The Shackle manages to land, and that Nyx Assassin dropping very low, but the Spike Carapace afterwards keeps him alive. Stinger manages to find the Invis room, but still will be run down by UR as they do get the ultimate off. A 3-person Torrent, but where's the damage? They don't have anything left in the tank right now from Infamous as Stinger manages to heal back up.
The short TV from Snake King, too.
And they're all away. The
level 1 D-Gen.
Want to take down Chris Lux. Stinger's still dodging around. Yomar pops the rage to find the kill. But in the end, it's kind of just a weird little trade-off there.
If you take that much time and that ends up saving your Kunkka, you are completely fine with that, I am sure, as the Oracle player. And in that time period, I believe the net worth lead for Newbee actually dropped.
Yeah.
He had Whisper just to rotate bottom for some farm. Hector was farming up there too after the Omni Slash, so.
Well, and the other big thing is Newbee kind of playing off of their ulti timings here, and GA on cooldown for another 2 minutes.
Still the Sandleys though. With the Veil, this guy's terrifying. They are lacking the save department there in terms of like that instant sort of save, right? Just because you do have the ET. I wouldn't mind MSS maybe getting a Force Staff too, because I think they could really use a Force Staff on the side of Newbee, but I know MSS wants to go in for that damage.
Well, Schofield scouting out all of Newbee, the spin, and then the TP away from Hector. Does not want to take part in this anymore.
Yeah, but him leaving just completely ditches Schofield. Like, there's no concern of, all right, well, if he TP'd out, they're probably not fighting us.
Yeah.
I think we can take our free pick off here. In the bottom, CCNC getting very aggressive onto Whisper.
Now, Stinger is nearby to keep him alive and does have the TP away. The Astro already being used. Whisper's out of it. Giving his appreciation to the team.
Yeah, he's got to play a few more games, get the all chat lines. I'm sure if he had those, we'd never hear the end of them. And sneaky TP out there from Stinger, too, doesn't want to go down again.
Still sitting at about this 2,000 to 3,000 gold lead for Newbee, who I think have to be feeling a little bit better about this game, certainly than they did last one. As Pi is holding on to this haste rune nearby. Let's see if they want to make something happen with it. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Hector with Maelstrom completed. They spot by snaking. The ward dropped, immediately taken away.
That always feels good.
Might have been A-clicking for the other camp and just happened to get it.
Yeah, Hector doesn't have the TP quite at the moment, so had they gone in there, could have been a bit hazardous for him, but he now has the spin TP back up, so very unlikely they can take him down, which is just something we're just going to be seeing the entire game between the Lifestealer and the Juggernaut. It should give them pretty free reign to farm across the map here. Even when Hector's in such a dangerous looking spot, he has to essentially get shackled in order for the chain stun to occur. And even after shackle, what's the follow-up that he can't dodge, right? Like, if you go into a sleep, the second the sleep is broken, he's just going to spin TP. So you got to make sure you get all kinds of damage in that shackle.
True enough. Chris,
all right, MSS is going to get this man.
I should. This one's easy.
What if he torrents MSS, though?
He tries.
I appreciate the effort, but MSS gives him the kiss. See you later.
So things to keep our eyes on in this game. We've got the armlet already done on the Lifestealer with the Midas, but we talked about now going into the Radiance afterwards, giving him that late game scalability. On the other side, you've kind of got this Kunkka that's gone for a more mid-gamey oriented build with the Halberd early, obviously amazing against the OD.
Yeah.
A Stinger is just going to get run down here, but it does sort of raise some questions. The other ones we've seen have been the Radiance build that takes him to the later stages. Does look like Oro lives through that one, virtue of the False Promise. But you can see now that Infamous trying to gear up for that late game as they finish off the hand of Midas for Whisper. And Highlight Die jumped on. Hail comes out. Shackle onto 2. Well played by the Wind Ranger. Can they find any more? They managed to get the Bruce split off though. Maybe a chance for a turn here for the fight, or maybe just a runaway. It looks like Infamous want to escape. They lift up the Omni Knight, keep him out of the engagement, and well, with that, Newbee realized we don't want to go without our Omni.
Really hard to like fully commit for kills right now from either lineup. And you can see that in the itemization of CCNC, who was thinking about that scythe right after, so some good blink initiation there. But yeah, you were mentioning going back towards the Radiance here, is they're probably feeling good about this game. It can often be difficult to read like exactly what position you're in relative to the enemy team, but considering the way that UR's been farming, I'm sure he feels like, yeah, I got a really good game here, guys. I can get up to that Radiance. I can really do a lot of damage in these team fights. And gonna try and maybe get over that hump of the BKB from Chris Luck, because he's gonna be very scary when that comes out right on the Kunkka. He's gonna have a lot of opportunity to turn these team fights and turn the tide in their favor, trying to halberd CCNC as much as he can, and then just kind of waltzing on through there with the BKB, maybe trying to force a bad Sanities or bad Shackles, etc.
Well, and oftentimes what goes hand in hand with that vision, or rather the lockdown, is also the vision to find that lockdown, and that feels like it's going to be so important, because obviously if you can get the halberd off on CCNC before he gets his BKB off eventually, makes all the difference in the world. You just end up wasting your BKB.
Yeah, and they have 2 different tools on each team, right? We got the Spirit on the side of Newbee, and then you've got the Invis on the Nyx Assassin there to try and provide those moments, either for that Blink Scythe that comes out from CCNC, or that initial initiation out of Infamous.
And you know, a lot of people probably coming into this, they're looking at this matchup. Some might not have watched in a while. They're thinking Newbee, China team, you know, and then obviously South America team against each other. But this is actually kind of an intra-regional matchup that we've got going here. And things get super weird when that happens, because these players, they play against each other all the time. And that's why you're seeing so much chat wheel spam. And you can see the very unique
his
face.
Standard playing style.
That's just
for
what CCNC does.
Usually what he looks like. He tries to emulate, you know, that like screaming bubble on the Dota TV? That's basically CCNC all the time.
I love that. But yeah, this is often what happens in these matchups, is you kind of anticipate the movements because you play against these players so often in pub matches or what have you, and then things get funky. Hector gonna run into CCNC now.
That's the Solar Crest though, because when you're playing as OD, the thing you always want is attack speed buffers, if you can, right?
Oh, the splitter, that was nice.
Yeah, so that makes it so he can't TP right there.
And we'll be able to still finish the TP out, but really heads up play from Hector not to just spin TP immediately.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map though, they did get another kill between UR and MSS. They catch that scouting Nyx Assassin, so the damage build so far from MSS working out there with the Javelin to help secure that one for UR with his Radiance, and man, he's already on his way towards that AC too.
What a monster. He's getting up there.
Yeah, and Hector just can't get enough of those Javelins. He wants another one. I got a Mjolnir, pop another one in my inventory. I'm gonna go for that MKB.
Definitely.
Makes sense, right? Like, at first versus the Wind Ranger, it's like, it's just the support, but once the Radiance comes out, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get some good value out of this, plus it's a high damage item anyway.
They do manage to find the X Torrent onto CCNC. The pullback comes that much quicker, but because of the status assistance coming from the Heavenly Grace, they're going to back out. Again, UR takes down the tier 1 tower up in the top lane.
It's Raid Boss CCNC mode, right?
Pretty much.
He reveals his exact item plan, though. He buys the Mystic Staff and the Void Stone, so if they had any doubts if they want some Lincoln Spheres or not, they know now.
Definitely.
But you pop the Solar Crest on him, put the Heavenly Grace on him, it's going to be very difficult to do very much to him at all.
Nice blink away from CCNC, anticipating.
They want to pick. They don't want to let Stinger just freely push his way through here.
He knew the spot.
Yeah.
Stinger.
Use of the Observer Ward there made that pretty free for him.
Like that. And the rotation coming from Schofield, but Newbee again going to back out, make sure they don't get caught out of position, and just playing around that vision consistently well.
Schofield had the Force Staff if he really wanted it, but didn't see a good moment.
And 8-11 to 4,000 gold lead. Slow and steady rolls the tide. That's a Kunkka line. Maybe it's something from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't really know. But,
thank you.
We're getting closer to those 25-minute bounty runes.
I always appreciate the Dota lore.
All right, can they find him here? MSS.
And that courier is flying for that site. And it's going to be ready for that 25-minute bounty rune fight. That courier's got to hurry, though. It's like that short film.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not going to be there quite in time. It doesn't look like there'll be a contest anyway.
Also doesn't have a rapier on it.
True.
It's a different thing. So yeah, they'll trade off 2 apiece, it looks like. Another round of it. Hector going to get the TP away. And this is really going to be a continual problem for both teams, is how do you deal with this just spin TP away or rage TP away? It feels like it has to be that catch them out beforehand with the Hex that we now see.
Yeah, you see Hex and you're like, well, that doesn't go through BKB. But, of course, it gives you way more time, and that's an additional follow-up to the Shackle.
And the catch going to be there as Chris Luck is going to go down. The full team, with the exception of TI9, who's maybe ready to throw his life away again in the mid lane.
He draws the line. He says, guys, you go. I'll head mid. Maybe we'll connect. Maybe we won't. I'll see what happens. Possibly I'll be directing from the grave, but maybe he prefers that, right?
That's a possibility.
Hey, he's only got 2 deaths this game. We got to give it up to Pi, right? Not feeding nearly as much in the early games of the previous match. And as the curse comes out there, it looks like Snake King is close enough to dissuade Schofield from cursing my words.
Oh, it's a little bit scary here. Schofield, I mean, they're only 4 on 5 right now. They will get the Quelling Blade takedown of the Sentry Ward.
Yeah, but TI9, he's going for it again.
He finishes it off there. Nicely done. Hector, in the meantime, pushing up top with a catapult wave. Already going to take down that
MSS mid lane. Wants the Shackle.
Looking for it. Going to be able to get the Force Staff to keep him away. Yawar onto 1. They have the Primal Split afterwards if they need to use it.
CCNC is too far away for the follow-up. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Hector, he wants to abuse the spin TP. Oh, he doesn't have a TP. Well, that makes it difficult to abuse that.
Well, he's going to head back now and just run the other direction.
Yeah, so no free damage on that tier 3.
He does have the Courier coming out afterwards, though. So can't
and
keep
look what is upon it, of course.
These things happen. They're the best of us.
Or the worst of us.
Well, yeah, that more often to those people. But it's a full MKB done right now for the Juggernaut, who's managed to keep up with the farm of the other 2, CCNC and Yawar. And Yawar quietly having a very, very nice game here on this Lifestealer.
Very quietly. You know, just 7 kills. Just shows up and takes a few and ults his way out of the fights. And now they have that bash too, right? We were talking about these answers that they needed for the spin TP.
And Chris Luck again caught. Do they have any save coming in from him? Looking for it. The disarm already there. And now he's used the Astral. Could have potentially, no, the Storm. Just turn it back around, but they able to get the wake up afterwards because of the Astral damage. Now Schofield looking for the follow-up, trying to get out Snake King. You're going to be able to get the Omni Slash off, just blows up high. Not necessarily the greatest of targets, but maybe they can turn onto the rest of them. The Torrent lands onto CCNC right as he's coming out of it, trying to walk away. The turn around there with the Ensign, and it's not going to be quite enough, though, as they find another hill, disarm, run away, but Whisper has him in his sights. Another round there of the Astral Imprisonment as they find themselves 3 dead from Infamous, but maybe they can find out CCNC. Not going to happen. They catch Whisper, and they kill him as well.
Very nicely played from Newbee there. A messy fight coming out there and all kinds of lines being drawn from both teams. It looks like Stinger has something to say to the team after that one. Hanging stuff out here, drawing some lines, maybe not happy with the way that wraparound went for them.
No, definitely not. And now the Aegis going to be into the hand of Newbies, who have taken a firm grip on this game.
And TI9, that stomp though that you pointed out, absolutely massive to give that fight to them. And CCNC, he smells blood in the water. He says, anyone coming? Anyone want a sight? Come to Papa.
He's chasing. Torrent's still going to land. But CCNC not stopped in the least bit. And again, that timing on the Astral coming back off cooldown for CCNC, which allowed him to hide away from the Omni Slash.
And now some scary moments here too, right? That Blink Shackle from MSS, the Blink Sight, a single step out of position here, and you're gonna lose a core hero here on Infamous. Buyback status for them, not too hot. Very far away for the Juggernaut. And yeah, MSS, as you can see there, a 1 camp stack. Not his job this time, right? Oh, it's 2, 1, and 11, setting his fellow players up for success. And now they're gonna smoke up here with all this initiation on the side of Newbee.
Oh, they got to be careful. They don't have Omni, they don't have Brew Split, and Newbee have a whole lot of everything.
Radiant are scanning up ahead of themselves. They're not exactly sure where they're moving.
Behind enemy lines, Stinger going to be the one left to die. And now the rest of Infamous going to try and evacuate the area, as it looks like they will manage to escape.
Oh, well, oh man. Okay, he did spin. MSS was coming in there. I don't know if he'd opt for the blink. MSS has the dust. Is he feeling it?
Well, he could be. Oh God, Schofield. Oh God, no, the courier spotted him. Now they walk back the other way. He's just been dead and war off. Oh no, they catch out the Nyx Assassin, and Schofield looking like he might go down, although Chris Luck may be here to save his buddy or at least find the kill on the Pi.
Okay.
So they get 1 in return, and as long as this Kunkka escapes, be some semblance, but no. They find the Jug up on the top side. The Banish comes out, but do they have anything for him afterwards? Well, Hector...
he doesn't have TP though.
Saving it, saving the spin, just trying to run. Healing Ward already taken down, taking away that in as Snaking runs in. Whisper, they drop the ultimate right onto his face, and now Whisper needing to run away as well. He is caught and gonna be under control, even though the ulti's going. This man is gonna likely go in the grave afterwards, as this duration not gonna be enough. They're body blocking the Earth Panda. The next level play coming out, as Infamous will lose their offlaner to boot.
Tries to go for the big save play there, but CCNC catches them with the pickoff. All these item pickups from Newbee, exactly what they needed to try and shut down Hector and shut down this game plan from Infamous. Taking the early game, but then on top of that, squashing out this split push on the side, still holding that bottom tier 1 even.
This is one of those moments too where there's so often, great gameplay from Infamous playing together, making the right moves, but it feels like in the last couple of minutes it's falling apart. Everybody's trying to move individually.
Felt like that foursome effort that they have, their little quartet didn't quite have it. All right, well there's a Lincoln's.
Not bad, not bad, but chase forward now as they will kill off the Nyx. Does have buyback, so they'll have the full roster in just about 10 seconds if they can hold out that long, which we'll see if Newbee want to go for another set of racks.
Yeah, not a lot of game when you're down like 800 HP from UR. We'll see quite a bit of his survivability. Go back, take the Shrine, heal up a little bit, and then perhaps consider heading back towards the mid lane.
Yes, 12,000 net worth lead. Now the Wind Ranger has the
that's a core.
SS is a monster.
That is a ton of damage now. Solo kill potential.
You can see here the replay. Just building up that in already.
Yeah, let's see, 41 minus 8. I'll take a few more here, and CCNC gets a calculator. Okay, he's got the mental math. He's not allowed a calculator in there, you see.
You can see they're not that worried about it. Well, maybe, okay, maybe they are. It was a moment where he smiled, realized he got caught out. But Infamous still holding on in this game number 2. Newbee, an elimination match for them. They have to win this one if they want to keep their hopes of moving on with International alive.
Just about 40 seconds here left on the Aegis for UR, so don't want to do anything all too risky. You can see Infamous are pushing out some of these waves as well, scouting for Hector as they usually do. Schofield trying to keep an eye on who could be approaching from the rear. And a sentry placed down from Piladai. It will spot Schofield, the MSS not nearby. CCNC is though.
Chasing, looking, Hex is out, and with that,
he's
going to
almost
be
out.
one dead. Schofield is going to fall. Stinger tries to run away, does have the TP out, but is it going to be broken in time? Can they get him? The Banish comes out at the last second, and this Oracle 2 will die. This Infamous continue to lose one by one.
Chris Luck is here near MSS and Snaking. Hold fast. Nope, not going to get it. Gets it on the creep right after, of course. And Observer having to work extra hard here because they're going on players all over the map.
Down comes out as well as they have the control. Chris Luck, he's got Coco's Rum, but is it going to be enough? MSS just barreling into him over and over with the MKB procs, but Hector's shown up trying to keep his buddy alive. And with that, Newbee going to have to retreat afterwards or just run forward a bit more, because why not? They got the chase down, Spin trying to run Hector.
Another
still under fire. The Torrent lands there onto 2. And chase down more. Stomp, not quite going to connect there onto the Juggernaut. They don't land the Shackle, but Newbee, smelling blood, wanting to go for it.
The Torrents have been on point from Chris Luck right here. The Rum, no hangover from that. He is hitting them all, but does escape here. Keeping their hopes of a high ground defense alive. I'm sure if one of those two go down, they're going to be knocking at the mid door there.
And again, thinking about those buybacks, you do have it on the Kunkka and the Brewmaster, as well as the Oracle for Radiant. But at this point in time, if Jug dies, it's feeling very hard to hold your base. It does feel like Infamous kind of have decent-ish high ground. Like the Kunkka always feels pretty nice with X plays and then being able to pull people back.
They have massively upgraded on the side of Newbee now, though. That courier that died, it has now returned with a Lincoln Sphere. They've picked up a gem. They've got the AC done for UR as well. So Newbee, I mean, they can wait a minute and a half for the potential Roche spawn. But I would be fine with them starting to move into Radiant territory and try to take a fight.
Yeah, making full use of that 13,000 net worth lead that Newbee have built up. As you can see, only 2,000 of that being the disparity between the bounty rooms. The rest of it mainly off of kills, better farming. And now the big old wraparound coming. Snake King and Yawar up front and center. And Schofield, again, trying to be that force in between them.
Yeah, they got a ward up on the high ground. It is pinged out there by our Kunkka, though. He knows.
Yeah. Out of the heroes not in base right now for Infamous, Brewmaster just picks up his TP, didn't have it a second ago. And they can go for the defensive plays. Rage going to be able to dodge away from that torrent. The pullback keeps the Kunkka alive. And Schofield now trying to play intercept. Throwing out the Cinder Brew. Chrysla goes into Shackle though, onto 2. They don't have the save right now. Splitter coming through.
CCNC went bottom to try and catch Hector, but didn't get it in time.
And now he spins TPs away. Infamous looking for Newbee. Not quite in a position to catch them yet. And Yawar turns off the Radiance so he won't get hit by the Spike Carapace. But Schofield still could try and free-handed Impale, but doesn't quite manage to get it. 13,000 net worth lead still going to be maintained by Newbee. And they're waiting for that next Roche, which is going to spawn in about 30 seconds. Relatively short timer.
Yeah, in favor of Newbee, say there, I think, considering the state they're in, the items that they've garnered over Infamous. And very collected play here from Newbee, not really dropping anyone alone, no one getting picked off. Pilot Die only 4 deaths this time, which I think was the same as the first 5 minutes in the previous match. Keeping things nice and tight. And as Aoi pointed out when he came out of the booth, just trying to play their own game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in.
Oh my god, jumps forward, finds the Hex. Spike Carapace was out, but the Torrent lands afterwards. CCNC still thinking about chasing. Rooted, but immediately taken off. Heavenly Grace and Newbee, as you said, very calm, very consistently reserved and not making an overextension.
Yeah, and snaking with the Aghanim on that Omni-Knight, very helpful.
Hector goes for the TP away, and oh no, he didn't get it in time! Dead for 80 seconds! Oh, he moved off to the left before he spun TP'd.
Is that what it was?
It looked like it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the TP or the spin. Either way, something went wrong, right?
Well, with that, it is now a very easy Roshan for Newbee. No chance of a contention at all. And Juggernaut still 1,600 gold away from buyback.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Nope.
The possibility of marching in the mid lane is there. They have the ever-present Guardian Angel now that Whisper is going to have to be concerned about because that thing is global on Snake King. He has very short cast range in the Heavenly Grace, so he's going to have to be up and in the front lines there. Doesn't have an Aether Lens or a Blink Dagger, but with a Pipe and a Solar Crest, I think he'll be fine.
Kunkka does have enough for the second Daedalus and then buyback, but with, or rather the second Daedalus, but no buyback at that point. So it seems like he's wanting to keep a hold of that gold just in case things get too testy.
MSS is looking for TP cancels, but he's gonna have to force out Whisper's BKB. Oh, he did BKB!
And that Hex up top, Chris Luck in some trouble. Sleep, chase away, BKB already out. They're fine for now, still running. There's the Torrent, catch up onto 1. The rest of Newbee is not here, but they also have been able to control the brew as Whisper runs back home.
MSS just haunting, chasing him invis, cancel the TP as he obviously wasn't going to BKB. He had no idea he was there.
The Shackle lands. They do have the Primal Split afterwards if they want to use it. Whisper still trying to run and buy his team a little bit more time, but this Brewmaster is going to fall. Does have buyback.
Very nicely played there from MSS. Guarantees a simple fight inside the base. They didn't really gain too much more out of it, but easy stuff here so far for Newbee as Hector will return to the top lane, keep his push up where he died last time, and Newbee looking to finish this out with the Strangle.
The second Rax going down, and Yawar can keep the pressure on, holding on to that Aegis, finishes off the Abyssal Blade. Have a lot of mana though, which is one problem.
That's what the Aegis is for.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So the buyback comes from the Brewmaster. CCNC going to be controlled. The Impale coming through on a 3, but there's no follow-up. Nothing else after the fact. They throw out the taunt, but the rage is there, and the sanity is eclipsed, laid down from CCNC, killing off the Nyx Assassin. They buy back on him as well, so 2 buybacks so far. Hector's still controlled, but not too bad. Whisper gonna get his ultimate off afterwards as CCNC gets healed back up again by that Omni Knight. MSS in the backlines throwing out those shackle shots. The Omni Slash bouncing back and forward, but the cheese comes from CCNC. Another taunt with the lifted point simultaneously. Yawari's dropping somewhat low, but they managed to find that shackle again. A second round, and Hector going to die. No buyback at all. Newbee have done it as GG is called.
Very clean team fights out of Newbee, and pretty much after the 20-minute mark. It felt like Infamous, if you look at that graph, they're not going to have a whole lot of blips in their favor, right? Those kills, it's a lot of red. It's all red. They painted the town there from Newbee, and answering back very loudly.
Yeah, most definitely. You can hear the crowd feeling it right now for them.
They want to see success from them, of course. I mean, they also cheered very loudly for Infamous, too, I will say. You know, who doesn't like I don't even want to call them an underdog, more like a just exciting team to watch. Maybe someone who you didn't expect to be this far in the tournament, but up against Newbee, certainly evenly matched here, as we prove with a 1-1.
Absolutely. So interesting things to watch, and always one of the big questions that comes about. Game number 1 felt a little bit like a stomp. Game number 2 feeling like it's the stomp but the other direction. That often sets us up for a very exciting game number 3. See if that's what happens as we head back to the panel, getting ready for that one. You can see right now as well that Hector and the rest of Infamous heading back to the locker room. They are going to be a little bit favored going into that third matchup as we get ready to go into that third game. You can see here a very full crowd, and we'll head back one more time.